Hey there, health fans. We're about to dive into the top 10 healthiest foods. Stay tuned. Welcome to Healthism. If you want to become a health expert by learning how your body works, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. You won't want to miss a thing. Make sure you watch the whole video because I'm not just going to list foods. I'll explain why they're good for you. Plus, there's a surprise at the end. We all need a little treat now and then. At first, I planned to list the top 10 healthiest foods. But then I realized that might be misleading. It leaves out many other foods and gives us the wrong idea about what food should do. I often see examples of so-called superfoods. People claim, this is the food you should eat, or ask, what's the #1 healthiest food? Then they want to eat that. This gives us the wrong idea about food. It makes us think food should do something specific. I often get questions like, I have a headache, what should I eat? Or, I have high blood pressure, what should I eat? You should eat a variety of foods. Foods aren't meant to treat, change, or alter how your body works. They're just meant to give your body what it needs. So, let's move away from the idea of superfoods. Sure, some foods come close. They're packed with good stuff and there's nothing bad to say about them. But we shouldn't think of them as treating anything. We need to move past the idea of a single, healthiest food. Instead, we should recognize that a diverse diet provides our bodies with all the necessary building blocks, catalysts, vitamins, and minerals. I also want to warn you about natural foods. Just because a product is in the natural food section doesn't make it healthy. These items often contain better ingredients and fewer chemicals, but they're still processed. Keep this in mind. Every time I see a natural food section in a store, I can't help but chuckle. I wonder, if they label this section natural foods, shouldn't they call the rest of the store unnatural foods? Just a thought. Given the abundance of healthy foods, I'd rather discuss categories than individual items. The first category of healthy food, in my opinion, is non-starchy vegetables. I'm not ranking these categories because variety is key to nutrition. Non-starchy vegetables include leafy greens like lettuce, spinach, and kale. Any leaf tends to be nutrient-rich, high in minerals, vitamins, and fiber, while being low in carbs, starch, and sugar. Eat as many leafy greens as you can. Other options include broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. These aren't leafy, but they're still low in starch. As you go, learn which vegetables have less than 5% net carbs. To calculate this, take the total carbs and subtract the fiber. Some foods might have 15 grams of carbs, but if it's fiber, they're still fine to eat. Discover which ones have less than 5% net carbs. You can eat plenty of these. These vegetables provide loads of nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. #2, berries. Okay, people talk a lot about fruits, berries, and vegetables. So here's my little warning. You can eat some berries, but more isn't always better. Berries are the best type of fruit to eat because most fruit has changed. Our ancestors might have had some fruit, but it was small, sour, and available at certain times. Humans have never had sweet, juicy, big fruit all year round like we do now. This gives us too much sugar even though it has many nutrients. It provides more sugar than humans should have long term. So eat some berries, have a bit of fruit, but don't overdo it. Don't think you need it all the time. Berries are best because they have the least sugar, the most fiber, and they're full of vitamins. The top berries are strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. They have the least sugar and the most nutrients. The third category is meat and animal proteins. They offer a complete range of essential amino acids. Humans could survive on them for a long time. Most other foods, if eaten, would lead to deficiencies or insufficient fuel and nutrients. But animal proteins, fatty ones, provide enough nutrients for years of survival. I'm not saying it's the best choice even though some carnivores thrive on it. This includes beef, pork, chicken, lamb, and wild game like rabbit, venison, and buffalo. Fish such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel, the clean, fatty kinds, are also great sources of beneficial omega-3s. Remember, when you eat an animal, you're getting food that's as healthy as what that animal ate. If the animal ate its natural diet, that's ideal. I try to avoid grain-fed beef because it's unnatural for cows. They're fed grain to make the meat tender and fatty and to make the cow grow faster, doubling the meat yield in a few months. They do this for profit and tenderness, but for all the wrong reasons. Cows should eat grass and grass. A grass-fed cow is healthy with a good balance of omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. Grain feeding disrupts this natural balance. If grass-fed seems too pricey, do what you can. Start with one thing, and as you learn and maybe develop money-saving habits, you can level up. Do your best to eat food raised. For fish, stick to wild-caught only. Farm-raised fish, like grain-fed cows, are fed unnatural diets and aren't as healthy. When we try to change nature's rules, it never turns out well. Number 4, eggs. There are many types of healthy eggs from healthy animals. You can find duck eggs and ostrich eggs, but most people talk about chicken eggs. You want high-quality eggs. When hens live and they produce natural healthy eggs. If we feed hens junk, hormones, and food pellets, keep them inside, crowd them, and stress them out, their eggs turn out pale and lack nutrients, maybe even becoming toxic. In the US, look for pasture-raised eggs. This new standard ensures healthy eggs even in commercial production. It means each chicken lives outdoors with at least 108 square feet of space. They can run around, eat bugs, grass, and seeds. Sometimes they get some grains too, which isn't bad for chickens. The main thing is they have room to move and choose what to eat. When you crack these eggs, you'll see a deep orange yolk. Cheap eggs from unhealthy chickens have pale yellow yolks, sometimes yellow at all. Pasture-raised eggs often have bigger yolks too, even in medium-sized eggs. Someone pointed out to me, and I've seen this in stores, that you want pasture-raised, not pasteurized eggs. Pasteurized just means they steam the cheap eggs from sick chickens to sterilize them. That's not what you're after. Category number 5 is fermented foods. You can ferment foods in many ways. You'll find stuff like kimchi and sauerkraut, and now you've got things like miso and tempeh, but I warn people about processed foods because when fermented foods get popular, companies make processed versions. You can buy kimchi that's been in plastic on a shelf for 2 months. That's not how you should eat it. If you make it yourself, great. Otherwise, go to a health food store and find something made the old-fashioned way. It's made with a probiotic and needs to be kept in the fridge if it's the right kind. You don't need to eat a lot. Just a few bites with a meal gives you billions of probiotics. These help create a healthy microbiome, which is key for good digestion and immune function. If you're new to it, start small. Begin with a teaspoon a day, just a little sauerkraut, and build up from there. The more you eat it, the more you'll like it. It grows on you. If you eat it every day, you might be craving it in a few weeks, but start slow so your microbiome has time to get used to it. The next group is nuts and seeds, which you can eat in small amounts. I say small amounts because nuts have a lot of protein, but it's not complete protein. This means you get some amino acids, but not all of them. So it's not good to eat many nuts. Seeds have high levels of omega-3s, which is great, but they also have high levels of omega-6, which isn't so great. You need a little omega-6, but not a lot. My warning is that eating too many of these can throw off your omega-3 to omega-6 balance. We want to stick to omega-3s as much as we can. Walnuts are the best nuts, with the best fat makeup, along with Brazil nuts. Just 2 or 3 Brazil nuts a day will give you enough selenium for the whole day. Selenium is a very powerful antioxidant. If you're after protein, go for almonds and pecans, but don't go overboard. The next group is fat, and we could talk about this for hours. Like before, quality matters most. You want fat from raised animals, so good butter, and heavy cream from grass-fed cows, plus coconut oil and extra virgin olive oil. Then we have spices and herbs, which are crucial. They're in the top 10 because they have the highest concentration of powerful plant chemicals we should eat. A spice or herb you don't eat much of, but it packs a punch. It's so strong, so full of nutrients that some people can't handle them. They can't take the alkaloids, oxalates, lectins, and other things we call anti-nutrients. But if you can handle them, they're great because they offer a wide range of micronutrients that help many body processes. We have what I call bonus foods. These aren't everyday foods. They're not staples, but they're like superfoods because they give you lots of nutrients or have a big effect in certain areas. Some of these are now supplements. I like spirulina because it's loaded with nutrients and doesn't have any anti-nutrients. It has many of the good things we get from vegetables, without the drawbacks, without the anti-nutrients. But again, it's a bonus food. You won't survive on it alone. It's not something you'll eat all day. Another great food that helps is organ meats. I know most people don't like liver, but it's packed with nutrients you can't find elsewhere, at least not in those amounts. If you can develop a taste for it, or even if you don't like it, eating a bit now and then will benefit you. So those are my top 10 healthy food groups, and I want to remind you again not to focus on just one food. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Got questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll respond. Before you go, you might find some other helpful videos popping up on your screen. Feel free to click on any of them, or even better, watch both to continue your knowledge journey with us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.